to see what it's going to be.
40 days to the state fair.
So close, and to her giving birth as well. Welcome in, everyone. 6:01. Jason Hackett, Alicia Lewis with you on this Wednesday. All those headlines coming up, but the weather has been really nice lately.
It has been great. Let's get out to John. Hope it sticks around. I'm liking the less humidity,
the better. It is great. How is it being, 7 or 8 months pregnant and having the summer? Is that a thing? Is it okay?
Not easy.
Not easy. Yeah.
No, I've been waddling. We'll talk about it later.
Waddling.
I love when she says that because she is waddling. I've seen it.
Okay. I'm out of the comment section now. Let's get out the weather. 67 to 84 today. Listen, the weather is phenomenal. Look at the winds. This is what I love, especially, as somebody who likes to boat. These are the days I never want to worry about the wind. Today you don't have to worry about anything but just enjoying it. 85 in Moorhead to 83 in the Twin Cities. How do you know it's summertime? When it's warmer to the northwest. Is that common? Yes. In fact, it's always warmer in the Dakotas. They have more extreme weather than we have. Colder in the winter, warmer in the summer. They're further away from a body of water. I feel like I have to finish out my nerd sessions. Storms stay in the Dakotas. They will start to move in here Thursday and Friday. We'll map out the times. I'll show you future radar coming up here in a bit. Morning, Cece.
Hey, good morning. 6:02. Hope your morning's off to a great start. I got an alert about a possible crash in Minneapolis on 35W northbound, but I clicked through cameras, haven't really seen anything. So if MnDOT changes the cameras and there is a crash, I'll let you know about it when I see it next. So for now, I'm going to say we're crash free, no slowing. There are projects though. They're all starting. The newer projects are starting later tonight. So I'll talk about those when I see you next, Alicia.
Cece, thank you. Let's get to our top story here at 6 o'clock this morning. The father of Manny Collins heads to court for the very first time in connection to his son's death.
A murder charge is expected to come down when court opens in just a few hours. Audrey Russo is live outside of the Anoka County Jail for us this morning. Audrey.
Yeah, Jason, Alicia, Jordan Collins Sr. is expected to appear before a judge at some point this morning. Right now, the inmate roster lists him as in custody at the Anoka County Jail facility behind me, held on suspicion of second-degree murder. Now, he's been here since Monday, but he hasn't been formally charged in connection with his son Manny's death. Now, Manny's remains were found at the end of June in the Elk River landfill. State and local agencies joined the FBI in searching for the missing 16-year-old after he went missing in early May. Manny's family tells us they grew suspicious of Collins Sr. during the search process. They also say they saw a shift in his behavior before Manny disappeared.
When we saw each other, we'd hug each other, say we love to each other. But the day that he picked Manny up from my house, he was a whole different person.
And as the court proceedings begin today, the St. Paul community is rallying around Manny's family. I'll have more on that coming up in about 30 minutes. But for now, Jason, Alicia, I'll send things back to you.
All right, Audrey Russo reporting live this morning with the latest. Thank you so much. Well, authorities now say at least 110 people have died and at least 173 are missing in the catastrophic flooding in the central part of Texas. Governor Greg Abbott announcing they will not stop until every person has been found. But as rescue crews get ready to comb the region for a 6th day, hope for survivors is fading, and the losses so far are hitting Texans pretty hard.
I've lost friends, true friends, and we've lost precious families, precious children. I wish to God there was a way we could have warned them.
There are growing questions this morning over whether there was proper staffing at the National Weather Service and timely warnings ahead of the storm. The governor says lawmakers will begin to address the statewide alert system during their upcoming special session. And we know a lot of you out there would like to help the people in Texas. That's why our parent company created the Tegna Texas Flood Relief Fund to support flood victims in and around Kerr County. To learn more, all you have to do is scan the code on your screen. You can also go to KARE11.com and then scroll down to the featured section.
Turning now to North Carolina, where this morning cleanup continues from flash flooding from Tropical Depression Chantal. Governor Stein surveyed the damage just yesterday, telling reporters a, quote, handful of people were killed, but the exact numbers are not yet clear. He says things could have been much worse, but new spillways help minimize the damage. North Carolina isn't fully out of the woods just yet either. The governor is urging people to be prepared for more rain later this week.
Time now 6:05. If you're heading to the airport later this morning or anytime soon, you're going to want to know this. You don't have to take your shoes off when you go through airport security anymore. We reported some airports were already following that yesterday on Sunrise. Now the TSA confirms it's happening at all airports. And that includes MSP, where we find Michelle Beck live this morning. Michelle, how's it going?
Well, happy to tell you that I connected with one woman who got past standard security this morning. She tells me, and she is a frequent flyer, guys, she tells me that security felt much faster than usual. So here is that new policy in effect right now. All passengers can keep their shoes on through security. Federal officials say they will maintain the same standard of security, especially with Real ID improving identity confirmation. Some travelers I spoke with are cautiously optimistic. Others are fully on board.
Yeah, I truly appreciate that, especially as someone who has an invisible disability, and the fact that taking my shoes off while going through TSA can be somewhat of a challenge.
It's going to make it so much more convenient, less stressful, especially if you're traveling with young kids or elderly who are not able to do those things on their own.
I was a little hesitant about the change because I just think that we need to always be prepared for any type of potential disaster or threat. But I know that the technology has advanced so much in terms of screening in all of the airports that I'm assuming that if there's anything that could be detected, it'll probably be detected.
And do note that some travelers may be asked to take their shoes off for some additional screening if agents do require that and see a need for that. And what this all means for TSA pre-check, guys, I'll have that coming up in the next half hour. Back to you.
Yeah, like if it's worth it anymore, now that you just get to buzz on through.
I'm sure a lot of people are going to forget to take their shoes off, and then you're going to have the TSA
Screaming at you.
keep your shoes on, and then it's going to be a little bit chaotic.
Liquids
at
out,
first.
shoes on.
That always is so intimidating
Yes.
when especially if you're on an early morning flight and they're yelling at you. It's like, okay, please chill. Let's just.
They must get so annoyed though.
Yeah.
Of people.
Because their job is hard too.
Yeah,
Shout
very.
out to all the TSA agents out there.
But
We
don't
appreciate
yell
them.
at us anymore.
Please don't.
I'm sorry, I'm just trying to get through. All right, 6:08. Other stories developing this morning. An investigation in the Twin Cities right now after what could be the largest drug bust in our state's history. Take a look. This is 950 pounds of meth filling up that truck bed there. It was seized in Minneapolis Monday. St. Paul police say their officers worked with Ramsey County Violent Crime and federal partners to investigate two men suspected of selling drugs. And this is what they found during their two traffic stops. Quite the find. The men are now charged with felony drug sales.
Very striking image there. Wow. U.S. Bank Stadium and Live Nation are preparing for what they're calling one of the biggest shows in Minnesota history. However, we don't know what that big announcement is yet. That is until tomorrow morning. Lots of you are speculating on our Facebook page what it might be here. Several people saying Paul McCartney, others saying Taylor Swift, Lady Gaga, a couple people guessing WrestleMania. I know I want it too, but I don't think that's going to happen, everyone. The announcement is at 7 a.m. tomorrow. We're going to bring that to you live.